Ahoy! Welcome back to Adventure Sena. Today we're in beautiful Lisboa, or Lisbon, Portugal, the capital of Portugal and the beginning of our Mediterranean Odyssey. So this is kicking off the trip. We're going to spend some time in Portugal, and that's what this video is all about. Just some beautiful highlights of Lisbon. We're going to start in this region, and we will make our way up to Porto later on. So after that, Spain, France, Italy, Croatia, and Greece. Hopefully, we'll see. Depends on how much money and time I have, so may run out of time or money. We'll see which happens first. Today we have an absolute adventure on our hands. We are day one, landed here in Portugal. I'm in Lisbon. Already behind me you can see the beauty of Lisbon. Lots to explore here. We're gonna go walk down to the river to just get the day started, so let's get it. I honestly think one of the absolute best things you should do early on in Portugal, just go walking around. The absolute vibes. Flat street, high street. Something unique about Portugal is they have a rich history of tile work in their culture. Now the city will allow new tile work to be made, but it has to be pulled out of a book of traditional tile patterns. So this is a traditional Portuguese tile pattern, very uniquely Portuguese. Right in the middle of the city. It's a magnificent structure. Man, everywhere you go, this gorgeous tile on the floor, these patterns. So a good deal of Portugal was leveled by an earthquake, followed by huge fires, and then a tsunami. Tuck tuck. So you might notice it's kind of a military-ish vibe, and that's because it is. The man who's in charge of rebuilding Portugal, Lisbon, was the military corps of engineers. So these are men who are suited to, fortress towns and things like that. So a bit austere on the outside, but you get little hints of, the wrought iron. You get tile on some buildings. So it's really beautiful. Here's one of those examples of really ornate, intricate work on a building. You'll see a mix. You got these kind of very plain, flat, square builds, and then you've got stuff like that. Here's the end of the road where my hostel is. The Triumphal Arc. This used to be a palace. Now it's just a Arc de Triomphe. Wow, beautiful. So that would be Vasco da Gama. Insert guy's name here, but he's the fellow who rebuilt Lisbon after the earthquakes. Massive statue, not sure who that is. So this is a celebration of the toppling of the dictatorship. It was a peaceful revolution. The soldiers all put flowers in their guns. See the Lisbon sign? Beautiful, beautiful architecture here. Pretty popular weekend destination. There are some good beaches for beach life, but this is not one of them. There's the Cristo over there, inspired by the Christ in Rio de Janeiro. So that is a caravel. These are unique as they were invented by the Portuguese. As you can see, the sails are tilted backwards. This unique sail shape allows these boats to be one of the first sailing vessels that could actually sail into the wind. This opens up, obviously, a lot of options. These caravels were what Vasco da Gama used to go around the continent of Africa. So we are at the Sunset Destination Hostel. So if you stay at either Sunset or Lisbon Hostel, you get to come to either of them and hang out. This is a rooftop zebra bar. Absolutely stunning. So that bridge over there resembles Golden Gate Bridge, but totally different architect. Portuguese street art does not disappoint. My favorite part of travel is trying out the local cuisine, and Mercado da Ribeira, where you can find Time Out Market.
is an excellent place to start. It's basically a food court, but with a collection of authentic Portuguese specialties.
Alright, we're here in the timeout market right now. As you can see, it's very busy. It stays this way on the weekends especially. If you're trying to avoid touristy things, I mean, this is very touristy. However, it is a collection of some really authentic food from all around Lisbon. So you will find just about every specialty here at one shop or another. So it's worth checking out. Okay, so here we have the Pastéis de Bacalhau. One with pimento, and this is the traditional. So we gotta try the traditional one. So this is salted dried cod. They then soak it in water, swap out that water, and it becomes more like a normal fish, which still stays a little bit salty. So I'm trying to think the closest thing to this. It's a lot like a crab cake, but with cod. Very good. This one has the pimiento. So crispy on the outside. I love this outside part. Fire. Pure Maillard reaction. It's almost like fish bacon. Sounds weird. Excellent. Alright, so that's all I'm going to try at Timeout Market for now. I might come back, try some other things, but I'd really rather just explore Lisbon and try and find something outside of this food court type of setting. Don't get me wrong, really beautiful, incredible food here. It is worth a stop. Big cathedral in the distance, and then this one closer. This church was devastated by the earthquakes.
Everyone likes to travel differently. You could fill your itinerary with museums and other attractions, but I found my favorite thing was just admiring the neighborhoods. Lisbon has such a unique layout with all the rolling steep hills around, and lots of beautiful street art to find.
Look at these freaking tiles, man. It's outrageous how much work this would have taken. Trippy.
Toward the end of my first day in Portugal, I wanted to find a beautiful place to see the sunset. Luckily, the Portuguese also favor a beautiful vista, so they have something called a Miradouro. I picked the Miradouro de Santa Luzia. There are a number of Miradouros to choose from. I chose this one because it's known for its azulejo-tiled artwork. These unique blue tiles depict everything from war to animals to the city long ago. Walking back to the city center, I stopped by the Lisbon Cathedral. Destroyed and rebuilt many times over the years with different architectural styles.
And the tram car is a big attraction, but if you ask me, that doesn't look like any kind of fun to me. Palace walls are alive with partying, revelry. The arc is lit up.
Lisbon at night takes on an entirely different character.
I don't know if it gets much better than this. What's the point? When you have moments like this, coming back to normal life is just, oh my god. Do not want to go back to normal life after this. I want to live here. I think probably a lot of people feel that way, which is why the housing market is in crisis. There's a whole bunch of tias back here just fucking vibing out behind me. Let's see if I can catch them. The tias are vibing.
Having joined in on drinks and dancing with the locals, I took a nice short walk back to my hostel and called it a day.
Here you can see the brutalist architecture right next to the blue tile. Look at this sandwich. It's got the hot sauce and the mostarda. Just some juicy pork, some cheese. Honestly, some of the best things in life is simple. Just a coffee sandwich that'll get me started for day 2. All right, let's try the bifana here at Potrebo. Much better than the black pork sandwich that I had at Timeout. Literally pop into any little corner store, you'll find a better sandwich. Cervejarias and tabernas, things like that. That's the shit, man. That's where you get a bite to. This one's set in a beautiful square.
I spent day 2 on the coast and exploring the castles of Sintra, which you'll see in another video. For now, let's focus on Lisbon. When I returned, my priority was to find a Fado house, where I could listen to the heartbreaking, beautiful songs of old Portugal.
My God, I just stopped in at a random tasca with Fado, and they've got prosciutto, veal, and potatoes. Super simple. Cannot wait to try it. So good. Huge chunks of veal. Beautiful. So good. I really get the vibe that the tasca, it's almost like a medieval tavern, basically. The food is incredible. I do not know for the life of me why they include prosciutto with this, but Partido dos Sentido is right across from a renowned Fado spot, and it is also excellent. All the servers are the singers here. It's fantastic. And their singing is beautiful. There's no need to wait in the massive line across the way unless you really have to go to that location. So, Fado, if you want that experience right across the way from the Bourdain location, you're gonna find it.
Walking off the wine, I called it a night on day 2. The morning of my final day in Lisbon had one priority, a unique pastry that has been around since 1837.
Beautiful. Here we have 2 Pastéis de Belém. They've got their own vibe to them. Ooh, way different than the ones we had in Sintra. Okay, so this is apparently the move. Dash of cinnamon, dash of powdered sugar. Got a cappuccino. All right, Pastéis de Belém. So these are beautiful, honestly. Get a unique vibe at every different shop, every different region. So I'm excited to give these a shot. Let's just try one of these. Super flaky puff pastry. Very mild, mellow vanilla custard in this. They're served warm as well. It's really, really nice. Completely different experience. I wouldn't even compare that to the one in Sintra. They're totally different objects. They're kind of the same shape, but the crust on the Sintra one was very thin. This is like a layered puff pastry. Overall, Pastéis de Belém takes it, I think. But I'd love to hear what the locals think. Beware of whipped cream mustaches. Pastéis de Belém, fantastic spot, man. Really worth a shot. Now, Belém itself is also beautiful, so I'm gonna go explore around here just a bit, but I really actually have to catch a train. We'll show you a few things here in Belém, and then we'll move on. Jerónimos Monastery. Captivating. So this is the Jerónimos Monastery. The monks here are rumored to have invented the original recipe for Pastéis de Belém. Some Manuelan architecture involved here. That's basically the ocean-themed bits. Some corals. It's really hard to get a sense of scale here, but massive. I mean, I'm right next to this. See how huge these doors are. Based and chilling ducks. Hello. It is hard to see it when you're standing on it, but these gorgeous tile formations. Very complicated looking. Massive, incredible tile structure, tile design. This is the premier adventurers monument. And this monument takes the shapes, some of the forms from the caravel, unique Portuguese sailing vessels. Number of historical figures, larger than life. Magellan, Vasco da Gama. I think there was an explorer prince as well. So this dedication is to all the many great explorers. Way at the top are solid crests of Portugal. All right, I can't think of a more fitting place to end my Lisbon section of this journey.
I hope you've enjoyed this first entry to the new Adventure Sena Odyssey series, where we'll be exploring many of the Euro countries along the Mediterranean, and maybe a little extra. Stay tuned for the next episode in 2 weeks, where we'll explore the Portuguese coast and the castles of Sintra. As always, thank you for watching Adventure Sena. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps out.